Hello, the Pioneer viewers. As you know, the Russia-Ukraine war remains on our agenda. We bring you all the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war, and in recent days, there have been many investigations on the mobilizations on the front line. Throughout the war, which has completed its second year, the parties have continued their mutual attacks uninterruptedly. The war started to be analyzed in a different dimension, especially after Ukraine launched a counterattack. Periods of war are periods when states experience a lot of problem. Domestic politics on the one hand and foreign politics on the other hand must be taken into the consideration. Issues such as policy to be displayed against the warring countries and its allies, the policy to be displayed in the domestic politics should be considered down to the finest details. Otherwise, in case of deficits, the whole process will be affected by problems. The military politics and foreign policy, which are closely intertwined, are all important. Separate plans should be made for each of these elements. Russia's attempt at a full-scale invasion of Ukraine looked like a fiasco for Moscow. Moscow is far from achieving its goals in the war in Ukraine, and this has caused unrest within the Kremlin leadership. Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has made several reshuffles in recent period. The main purpose of the changes was to correct the bad situation. Despite the reshuffle, there have been no change in Russia's situation. On the contrary, things have gotten worse. The information that emerged in past days surprised those who heard it. According to information, Russia is having serious problems in missile production. Those problems directly affect the front line. In addition, the Moscow administration, which has suffered a serious loss in the anti-aircraft stocks, is considering what to do now. So, if you're ready, let's examine the latest developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to report on Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all of your comments on our videos, and please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. Let's start if you are ready in the Pioneer reports. In recent days, Ukrainian military intelligence published critical details about Russia. Ukrainian military intelligence has pursued an active communication policy since the first days of the war, and the Ukrainian military intelligence, which publicizes the information and its detect when necessary, also takes part in the counterattack operations. Ukrainian military intelligence, which has sources within Ukraine and Russia, obtains critical information needed for the counterattacks. It was reported the other day that the Russian military is facing a major problem. Russia's missile production program has been delayed due to the technical problems and has fallen months behind schedule. The root cause of the problem with Russia's missile production program is unknown, but officials say that the problems appear suspicious. The Ukrainian Center of Resistance, which operates under the Ukraine's Special Operation Forces, our cybersecurity work is ongoing. They published documents containing information on the companies that acted as intermediaries for the purchases of weapons. Ukrainian authorities want to know that which company Russia buys products to produce weapons. Ukraine's main goal here is to expose the companies to sanctions. The Russian Special Technology Center's production facilities in St. Petersburg and Dubna produce weapons for the Russian army. Technical problems in recent days has disturbed production plans, preventing the production of the number of missiles in Russia. Missiles are of a critical importance in these days of mutual attacks. For this reason, Russian authorities are doing their best to solve the problem. Another report published recently described a different problem of the Russian army. According to the information revealed, the Russian army is experiencing a great inadequacy in anti-aircraft equipment. While conflicts continue, operations are organized with unmanned aerial vehicles at the same time. During these operations, anti-aircraft missiles are vital for the defense. As Russian forces continue to fight in Ukraine, they are reacting to the lack of equipment. Soldiers sent to the front line by the Moscow administration say that the equipment is inadequate and the conditions need to be improved. The latest combat figures released by the Ukrainian authorities show an increase in losses of Moscow's anti-aircraft guns in recent weeks. The Ukrainian General Staff made a statement on this issue the other day. The statement said that Russia had lost 3 anti-aircraft guns the previous day, and the Ukrainian General Staff also stated that the total losses of such equipment since the start of the war have reached 707. There were high losses of anti-aircraft weapons recorded in the first few months of the war, but these figures were usually shown in a single figures at a weekly rate. Thereafter, anti-aircraft losses gradually increased over the course of the year. However, there has been an increase in system losses during this period, with the Kiev recording 13 such losses in the previous 7 days, including the past day. In the separate statements, the Ukrainian General Staff shared information on Russia's losses. According to the information shared, the Russian army lost 850 soldiers in 1 day. With the latest update, Russian troops' losses reached 423,160. While the losses of the Russian army have reached high levels, the Ukrainian army continues its preparations. It is not known how the Russian army will proceed to meet its needs, but the Kremlin officials have generally failed in their attempts to solve the problems since the first days of the war. As a result of the authoritarian regime in Russia and its harsh interventions, public reaction is rising. Kremlin officials and members of the military are under a lot of stress because they work in a harsh and error-prone environment. For this reason, serving and being on duty in Russia is seen as a very tiring job. In recent days, while the war between Ukraine and Russia has continued, disinformation efforts have also been noteworthy. It is observed that the Kremlin administration is making moves to spread disinformation. Having failed to achieve the desired successes in the war, Moscow is making moves to deceive the international public opinion. The EU-aid packages are expected to be delivered to the Ukrainian army in the coming days. Deliveries of some aid packages agreed upon the previous days are also expected to be made. While the Ukrainian army continues its moves in the line with the strategy and plan it has determined, the difficult processes seems to have been overcome. It is stated that the Ukraine's only goal in the next process is to clear its country from occupation. So, what do you think about Russia's management? How do you evaluate the missile problems and anti-aircraft problem experienced by the Russian army? How do you interpret the Ukrainian army's counterattacks? What kind of developments do you think may take place on the front line in the coming days? I care about your views and please share them with me.